people don't want known. They've all got it in their background. And I think they're probably afraid that as he goes on in this fight, that if they say anything against him, they're going to be retaliated against by Trump in a way that's going to really get the attention of the voters. Voters are going to love it. Adult medical kidnapping in New York. There is a situation where a 1950s Air Force veteran is being held in a hospital against his will. He wants out. The family wants him out. And they can't get him out, even though they've got all the documents, the appropriate information. A hospital will not discharge him. And later, both he and his mother were dragged, family members were dragged out of the hospital room and banned from the hospital. Now, we don't know all the story here, and I hesitate to ever move on something based on just that sort of cursory story. But medical kidnapping is getting to be a big issue. If you go to medicalkidnapping.com, I believe that's the website, stories of horrendous situations where people were kidnapped for, quote-unquote, medical reasons. And there's a situation now in which a mother is being charged with kidnapping because she did not want her child to be able to be vaccinated. She was so upset that she did something that a lot of people would say that wasn't right. Sunrise, Florida woman, who disappeared with her 2-year-old daughter in May of 2014, reportedly to avoid having the girl vaccinated, was caught Monday and arrested on federal parental kidnapping charges. Megan Elizabeth Everett, 23, was taken into custody without incident at Palatka, and her daughter Lily, now 3, was found safe. The arrest was made by Putnam County Sheriff's deputies and the FBI. This is one of those, we're going to make it or make you an example of what happens. Authorities received a tip, and the case was featured, are you ready for this, on CNN with The Hunt with John Walsh. John Walsh being the father of a murdered child who now goes after bad guys. Well, the bad guy is now a bad woman, and she took her child to keep it from being vaccinated. She said, I had to. And the husband says, yeah, and she likes a Confederate flag also. Really? And she won't teach my child anything about real history. She just wants to teach it Confederate history. Really? 3-year-old? Are you kidding me? Anyway, Everett said, the daughter had been studying psychology at Florida Atlantic University. She speaks 3 languages and kidnapped her daughter, in her eyes, to save that child's life. Now, they both have custody, 50-50, of the child, and it appears that she never married the father of the child, which complicates things a little bit. But how sad it is. How sad it is. The father wants the child vaccinated, so therefore the child will be vaccinated. Scary, beyond belief. You know, and just think about where this story is going and how many people are going to be made an example of, if you refuse, you will pay. San Francisco residents pay $1,000 a month to live in a shipping container. Liberty Blitzkrieg is reporting that Luke Eisman figured out how to afford the San Francisco Bay Area. I don't know how these people live in these high-rent areas like New York City, San Francisco, L.A. Well, anyway, he figured out how to afford it. He lives in a shipping container. The Wharton School graduate, that's Wharton Business School graduate, he has a 160-square-foot box. He has a camp stove and a shower made out of boat hull. It's not making us much money yet, but it allows us to live in the Bay Area, which is a feat, said Eisman, 31, who developed a container house business. He used to pay $4,200 a month in the San Francisco Mission District for a 2-bedroom apartment with a slanted floor and mosquito breeding puddles. $4,200. Unbelievable. California wildfires torch 134,000 acres. How horrible. We'll be back after this.
What are you listening to? Have you tried the Power Hour 24/7 Listen line? It's easy. Just punch in 605-562-6121. No apps, no data, no internet needed, and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Call now, 605-562-6121. Now you can listen to the Power Hour when you want. Bookmark the Power Hour 24/7 Listen line number today, 605-562-6121. Got it? Call 605-562-6121.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Break the bond to Big Pharma. Hi, it's Joyce Riley with the Power Hour to tell you about the powerful benefits of Strauss Heart Drops. Many people today are locked into the routine of taking multiple prescription drugs. Strauss Herb Company believes that everything the body needs is provided by nature. Strauss Heart Drops may clear congested arteries, restore damaged muscle, maintain healthy cholesterol levels, and flush toxins and metals from the body. They may even be helpful in treating varicose veins. And unlike prescription drugs that are packed with chemicals, Strauss Heart Drops are 100% natural and harness the healing power of herbs like garlic, cayenne, white willow bark, and mistletoe. For the full line of Strauss products, I urge you to call the Power Hour at 877-817-9829. That's 877-817-9829, or visit thepowermall.com. And remember, beware of knockoffs. Get the original. Get Strauss Heart Drops.
It's time to build your own emergency food stockpile with the industry leader, My Patriot Supply. Once you try them, you'll know why so many Americans like you have made them part of their emergency preparedness plan. Experience the My Patriot Supply difference today with this unbelievable offer. Right now, a 4-week food supply is only $99, and that includes free shipping. That's 50% off the online price. Call 800-274-3070 to claim yours. Limit 2 per caller while supplies last. This offer isn't available online, so you want to make sure and grab this opportunity to get prepared today. 800-274-3070 to get your 4-week food supply for the incredible price of only $99, and it'll be shipped to you completely free. Call 800-274-3070 right now. That's 800-274-3070 to claim yours while supplies last. Don't wait. Call today.
Welcome back to the Power Hour. Thank you for joining us, caring about your world, and doing the next right and honorable thing. Looks like, according to Mass Privatel, the Virginia Commonwealth University is not doing the next right and honorable thing. They are the latest school to record your children's biometrics. VCU announced last week it has added 2 iris cameras to their campus dining hall. Students won't need their ID to enter the dining room anymore. Need an ID to enter a dining room? Really? I can't even imagine what college must be like today. Anyway, the director of campus services, who oversees the VCU dining series or services, said with iris identification, it's as simple as a camera taking a picture of their eyes, and 2 seconds later, they walk through. It's called the iCam 7100 iris cameras, made by Color ID. Take a high-definition photo of the user's iris and then identify 220-plus unique points. It then generates a number, which is associated with that individual meal plan holder's iris. There you go. And they will have those for years and years. Think about it. They won't ever give them up once they leave college. It goes into the collection. It goes into probably federal databases, without a doubt. How to make homemade lacto-fermented crunchy pickles. Now, that may be something you didn't even think was possible, but it is. And there are some things that you can actually ferment you probably never thought of. Besides the healthy benefits, one of the many wonders of using lactic acid fermentation as a means of preserving food is its versatility. And while the recipe has that perfect dill and garlic cucumber pickle flavor, the recipe can be applied to any other similar organic vegetables coming from the garden, such as zucchini, yellow summer squash, and think about this, Swiss chard stems. Now, how many of you would take those Swiss chard stems and throw them away? And here's another one, organic watermelon rinds. Now, who would think of pickling organic watermelon rinds? But here's one more thing you can pickle and have for food, and it's real food. One of the more important facets of learning the art of vegetable fermentation is to be able to identify when a vegetable has firmly and fully fermented. There are a wide range of recommended days for the fermentation process, which can leave the home fermenter perplexed. Instead of relying on those recommendations, which may only apply in certain circumstances or climates, it's often better to look for signs of complete fermentation. And the way you tell is a sign that a lot of people think is a bad sign. It's not. And that is when the brine turns cloudy. That's a good thing. This clouding of the brine is usually the result of lactic acid bacteria in the earliest stages of fermentation. The brine may or may not clear up in cold storage, but it's a good thing. The slowdown of carbon dioxide production, several stages in the fermentation process, waiting for the bubbly days appear to be behind you, will allow all the fermentation bacteria to do their work. The ferment smells and tastes tangy. Generally speaking, a vegetable ferment still in the process of fermenting will only be mildly tangy. Fermentation never completely halts unless the food is cooked or frozen, so the vegetable will often become more and more tangy as fermentation and storage continues. You know, I found that with the kimchi that I made. I only fermented it for like 4 days. Now, my sauerkraut I ferment for years, but only 4 days on the kimchi because it gets just way too strong, at least for me. We'll be back after this 1 minute, 10-second break. Stay tuned to the Power Hour. This is Joyce Riley.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate, to live, love, laugh, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Fay.
Every Thursday night at 7 on Kcaa, NBC News Radio, AM 1050.
This is Dick from Carpet Masters. Carpet Masters has been serving the Inland Empire for over 55 years. Carpet Masters uses extraction cleaning for your carpet because there's no better cleaning to remove the soil from your carpet. All of our furniture cleaning is done by hand in your home or in our plant. Carpet Masters also offers dry cleaning for fine furniture. Call Carpet Masters at 793-7215.
This is Kcaa Loma Linda, the station that leaves no listener behind. CNBC News is next, a courtesy of BuySellMakeOffer.com, where you can post a video about items you have for sale. Sign up now. It's free.
I'm Tanya Hansen, CNBC Radio. Agribusiness Archer Daniels Midland is reporting lower than expected quarterly profit on record ethanol production, limiting margins, and reduced exports of crops from North America. Amazon Prime is making it harder to share the service. A TechCrunch report says new subscribers will only be able to split the service between 2 adults and add 4 children. Sprint's shares fell in pre-market market trading after the number 3 U.S. cellular operator said its chief financial officer would leave the company. Hyatt Hotels reports a 4% drop in quarterly revenue, hurt by lower demand at its owned and leased hotels. Net income fell to $40 million. Allstate profit missed estimates as the home and auto insurer paid out more in claims. Travel search engine Skyscanner says the best time to book flights for the holidays is the week of August 10th. Skyscanner says patterns show you save on tickets that week. Stocks are set to open lower. Tanya Hansen, CNBC Radio.
Do you want to learn how to earn commissions of up to 20% by laundering millions of foreign dollars?
Well, we can't help you with that. But among the many IT problems we solve, Barracuda's email security solutions keep email phishing attacks like this from entering your business network and any valuable data from leaking out. Reclaim your network like 150,000 other businesses have. To learn more about stopping email-borne threats, visit barracuda.com/email.
The following was recorded at a Burger King drive-thru at breakfast.
Morning, welcome to Burger King.
Can I get a sausage, egg, and cheese croissant sandwich?
Sure. Right now they're 2 for $4, but could you say that word again?
Croissant sandwich?
Oh, where I'm from, we say croissant sandwich.
Where you from?
From behind this counter?
Piled high with thick-cut bacon or savory sausage, fluffy eggs, and melted cheese. Get 2 croissant breakfast sandwiches for just $4, only at Burger King. And for more great deals, download the BK app at bk.com/app. Limited time only. Price and participation vary.
KCAA Loma Linda, your CNBC news station, where your business comes first. Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
Good morning, it's 6:03. Checking traffic and weather. Going to be another hot one. Highs in the 90s in the IE. LA and Orange County, they're going to be down in the 80s, and in the desert, upper 90s. Already, it's 71 degrees. Checking out your morning drive. In Riverside, we've got stop-and-go traffic. That's on the 91 westbound between Magnolia Avenue and Green River Road. And there's slow traffic in Ontario on the 60 westbound between Euclid and the 57 Orange Freeway. That's traffic and weather from the only station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA 1050 AM.
In AgNet West today, news from the California Kiwi Fruit Association today. Preliminary estimates indicate we'll have a smaller kiwi crop this year in both volume and size. That's despite having a slight increase in harvested acreage over the last year. The 2015-2016 Hayward crop is 6.5 million 7-pound tray equivalents. In addition to having a smaller harvest, the fruit is smaller in size. The smaller size is caused by a lack of adequate chill hours, excessive summer heat, and extreme drought conditions. Meanwhile, there is a significant amount of new Hayward acreage in Fresno and Tulare counties, as well as some new varieties. There's a significant amount of non-Hayward acreage that will be coming into production over the next 5 years. The majority of those new varieties are yellow fresh varieties and at least one new green variety. The federal marketing order covers all species and varieties of kiwi fruit grown in California, so handlers of these new varieties are required to meet all grade and size requirements, have the fruit inspected, file industry reports, and pay assessments. In other agriculture news this morning, this is National Farmers Market Week. The number of U.S. farmers markets is continuing to grow, along with the dollar sales of those markets. The administrator of the USDA's Agricultural Marketing Service, Ann Alonzo, says consumer interest and support from USDA are both helping spur the growth in local food production, sales, and consumption.
People want to know where their food's coming from. They want to know the farmers who are producing the food. They want to take advantage of nutritious and healthy local food. So there's quite a demand. And at USDA, we've made this focus on local food a priority. Secretary Vilsack has made this one of the pillars of our support of rural America.
California leads the nation when it comes to the number of farmers markets. According to the Agricultural Marketing Resource Center, we have more than 750 in our state, followed by New York with just over 600. I'm Sabrina Hill for AgNetWest.com.
Market Wrap host Mo Ansari discusses the benefits of holistic wealth management.
You need somebody to hold your hand, guide you through the ups and downs of the stock market, the economy, and all the zigs and zags of life. That's why we created the wealth management solution, where we take the holistic approach and look at everything that you've got, not just trying to buy that one stock at the very bottom, sell it at the very top, buy those 2 annuities and 2 REITs and call me in 10 years sort of a thing. No, we do it step by step, day by day. It's a process, and we work with you all along the way.
If you're ready for some help, call Compact Asset Management at 800-388-9700 and schedule your free consultation with Mo Ansari to learn about his holistic approach to wealth management. Call 800-388-9700. That's 800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor. Funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
For more local radio every day, tune into KCAA Loma Linda.
Good morning, good morning. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
We got Bill Schwartz in the booth.
Morning.
We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. It is Tuesday.
It is Tuesday.
Tuesday to me seems like the longest day of the week.
Why?
I don't know, because you're far enough away from the weekend where, I don't know, and you're just not feeling the afterglow, so to speak.
Gotcha.
And you're far enough away from the weekend ahead of you where it seems like it's a long way off.
I'm with you at the afterglow. I woke up this morning and I did not want to get out of bed.
Yeah, seriously. How many times did we hit snooze this morning?
Yep. It's one of those days.
And Bill's looking at us like, really?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. My job last night, it kept going and going and going. Yeah, and I'm saying, people, I got to get up at like 3:30 in the morning. And they go, well, it's not a real job. I go, you want to do it? You want to try? You want to see how real the job is?
It's not a real job. What does that even mean?
Well, it's radio, so it happens as if just out of thin air.
Well, like anything that seems easy, when professionals are doing it, it's not.
Well, you have to know 100 things and then make it look like nothing is really being worked for.
Exactly.
It all happens so easy.
Yes, there's no effort involved at all. No, none at all. So we have a great show planned for you today. In the second half of the show, we will be talking with Ruthie Argamendo. She is with Molina. She's a vice president of community engagement for Molina Healthcare. And Molina is hosting a 2 days of free health screenings at Care for a Healthy IE. And that'll be on August 14th. And so we'll be talking to her about that. I'm excited about it. And lots and lots of stories to talk about that are hitting the news. Interesting news cycle the last few days. So one that I think is very interesting, the causes of cerebral palsy are not what we thought. Now, I always thought that cerebral palsy was caused by maybe an oxygen deprivation during birth or something like that, that it was really I'd always heard it was kind of a doctor's fault. Well, I'm wrong.
Okay.
Parents of children with cerebral palsy, take note. Your child's illness may be in the genes. A surprising new study in Nature is linking cerebral palsy to genetic variants and challenging the notion that environmental factors are solely responsible. This is according to the Globe and Mail. Nobody really wanted us to do this study because they were told over the years that genetics doesn't have a role. And that's according to study co-author Stephen Scherer. We did it anyway in testing genes of 115 kids with disorders and their parents, chromosomal abnormalities turned up in 10% of the children. And 10% is apparently huge. This was shocking, says Scherer. When I told a bunch of people in the clinical genetics unit, they literally fell out of their chairs. Until now, scientists believe cerebral palsy, the most common reason for physical disability in kids, was caused by physical issues like an infection or stroke in babies, according to a press release. Genetic causes were only considered when no environmental ones were found. Now researchers say that genetic testing may become standard both to inform parents and to spot other disorders like Angelman syndrome, which increases the odds of cerebral palsy, the Montreal Gazette reports. How these genetic factors interplay with other established risk factors remains to be fully understood.
It's interesting. So it's not just, it sounds like it's really not just genetics. It's a combination of genetics and environmental factors.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everybody knows at least 2 or 3 people that have cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
And so it's really pretty common, and it's got to be frustrating for the people who suffer from it.
Yeah.
Because their minds are fine, but
yeah,
their bodies may not necessarily be so.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I thought that was very interesting.
Science, Aaron. Science.
So, Tobin, there was an electronic dance festival at the Pomona Fairplex.
Oh, I love electronic music, Aaron.
You do?
No. Not my scene.
Not your scene? Okay, so I remember once when there was this rave in San Bernardino, and that's what an electronic dance music festival is. It's a rave.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding. I watched this guy, and it was a guy walking towards the rave. It was at the Orange Show. He was wearing a pink tutu, suspenders, and Chucks. The Chuck Taylor shoes?
There you go.
Yes, that's all he was wearing.
Very,
high fashion.
Very stylish.
Very
high fashion.
High fashion. That was all he was wearing.
Yeah, when I was a city councilman, I had to deal with these things all the time, and they created so much havoc in the community. While it certainly brought in a lot of tax revenue and brought a lot of folks to our community, the trade-off was not very well received by many members who lived here
because they turned up the music so high that
Yep.
and depending on where they had their speakers directed, it
Yep.
would make the walls shake.
Yeah.
So way up in Grand Terrace, it would make your windows shake and your walls shake. Come on.
Yeah, and our house is several miles away from the National Orange Show, and our windows were shaking.
Yes.
And
then they'd shift them, and then the neighborhood over by Valley College would be shaking, and
Yep.
And then they'd shift them again, and it'd be people on the north end.
Yep.
No music should be that loud.
Yeah, and
I'm all for good music. I've been to a lot of concerts. I'm a fan of music, but if it makes people in the neighborhood that miserable, it shouldn't. Something needs to be done.
Irvine Meadows Amphitheater, they have the same problem.
Oh, do they really?
Uh-huh.
Well, the other thing too is a lot of times these electronic music festivals, they don't want to stop at 10 o'clock or midnight. They want to go till 2, or originally when they first came to San Marino, they wanted to go till 4 a.m.
Yeah, they're pretty much all night.
Yeah, and so this is there's a point where you got to cut this stuff off. People are trying to sleep. They got jobs. They've got things to do.
Yes. Now, again, I am all for people going out and having fun, but there has to be a balance.
Yeah.
And one of the problems with these raves is that there's a tremendous amount of drugs that are done at these electronic dance festivals.
Yeah.
And Tobin, do you want to talk about this?
Yes. Let me give you the article, and then I'll share some personal stories because, again, having been on the city council, I've seen some of this stuff up close. 2 suspected drug overdose deaths at a popular Pomona music festival over the weekend prompted new scrutiny Monday on public safety at such raves, where at least 4 people have died since 2013, despite hundreds of thousands of dollars spent on security and countless hours gone into planning. Los Angeles County Supervisor Hilda Solis, concerned about the deaths of 2 young women at the Hard Summer Festival at Fairplex Saturday night, called for a ban on electronic music festivals on county land until an investigation into the teens' deaths concludes. It is the second time county officials have called for a temporary ban on raves in less than 5 years. I want to provide a safe environment for everyone to enjoy, Solis said Monday at a news conference in Los Angeles. No one should have to lose their life while attending a public concert. She called the deaths a tragedy, adding that she was deeply troubled that 3 people have died at raves in her district since 2014. Solis and Supervisor Michael Antonovich plan to introduce a motion at the Supervisors Board meeting today to bar such events, at least temporarily.
Yeah, I actually think this is a good idea. So what happens is that people will take ecstasy.
Yep.
And ecstasy apparently makes you very, very thirsty. And so if there's inadequate water, I mean, this is not the only reason, but if there's inadequate water, then you can easily get dehydrated. And so there has to be a free flow of water for these kids to drink.
Yeah. And so imagine, and I've been to, as an observer, I went to a couple of the different raves at the Orange Show while I was a city councilman, and they tried to convince me that this was perfectly safe and whatever. But what I saw was that because of the sheer numbers of people, that the police officers that were there did not focus on people that were necessarily doing drugs, right? They weren't observing for that. They were looking for the people that were selling the drugs. There was undercover sting operations to catch the people that were selling it. But because there were so many people there that were on drugs, and you could see them lying around on the ground, stoned out of their minds, staring off into space or whatever, that they just sort of let those people be. And so the people who go to these things feel like they've got essentially a safe environment in which to do their drugs. And if they overdose, if something happens, they have like a miniature hospital right there on site. And so at the Orange Show, they must have had 20 or 30 beds, ambulances waiting, doctors that they paid to be there to deal with these things. And you mentioned the free flow of water. They had this giant setup with just taps full of water, just running. You could run up and get your, water at any time because they knew that was an issue. And so they really are designed to try to keep it safe. But the reality is their idea of safe is a safe place to do your drugs.
Right. And of course, with the drugs, you have no idea what's in them. I mean, you have a dealer selling stuff there, and you don't know what's in it. So you think it's safe, and it's not. And by the time you realize it's not, it's too late.
Yeah. And again, I could share multiple stories of bad things that have happened at these raves. A couple years ago, we had one that was at the Hudson. Actually, what happened was the rave was supposed to be in Los Angeles. They got shut down, so at the last minute they moved it to the Hudson in San Bernardino. So all these people showed up. There had been no pre-planning with our police to deal with these things. So we had swarms of people coming in at the last minute into our city, and a little 14-year-old girl from the neighborhood walked over to the rave and then disappeared for 3 or 4 days. And essentially what happened is that she took some drugs and went off with some people. She was not in a state where she could sort of take care of herself, and her parents, of course, were frantic, and she was listed as missing. And she showed up in Los Angeles 3 or 4 days later, wandering the streets. And this is the kind of stuff that goes on. And I would be very concerned about letting one of my kids go to one of these things. I'm not a fan.
Our daughter wants to.
I know, and she's college age, and on the one hand, she's an adult, and I can't really say no, but I've made it very clear to her why I believe that she shouldn't go, But this is the kind of stuff that goes on. And as much as you may like to think that you're being safe, I'm not so sure you are.
Yep.
I don't think of them as a safe, clean environment.
Now, some people will say, well, don't you remember when we were kids and we'd go to concerts and, we'd enjoy it and people be drinking and doing other things. But I don't remember, I don't remember the drugs being that free flowing at concerts. And I've been to a lot of concerts.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I know there were people drinking, and I know there were people obviously who were doing things they shouldn't have been doing, but it wasn't in my face.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I didn't even have to acknowledge that it was happening because I wasn't interested in that part of it. I just enjoyed the music.
Yeah. Well, the flip side of this argument is that if you just look at the law of large numbers, these concerts will bring in, 20, 30, 40,000 people. And whenever you get a large group of people together, things happen. People do get injured. People do get hurt. People do die. And I'll just share with you an example. Years ago, I was working with a friend who was working with the scouting organization when they were planning for the international jamboree, whatever that they do, with that scouts from all over the world come to this large event. And he said one of the things that they had to plan for was the fact that with that large number of people, that there would probably be a death or two. And how do you deal with that?
Wow.
And so you're out there in the wilderness, you're camping, and somebody dies. And so this was part of their planning. How do you make sure that you're prepared for that? Because you don't want this to become this big traumatic thing for all these people that are there.
Right.
And so, people do stupid things. When you have large numbers of people, somebody's probably going to do something that could result in death.
Well, on that happy note, we have to take a break. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
We are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. We'll be right back.
KCAA is your CNBC News affiliate. We're the station that gets down to business.
If Congress wants to help poverty wage workers, a good place to start is in Congress. Hear about it today on Hightower Radio.
Hi, this is Steve Alador from Rancho Financial with the Mortgage Minute. With property values increasing, this might be the perfect time to do a loan checkup to see if it makes sense to refinance. Do you have an equity line? If your equity line is getting close to 10 years old, your payment is about to fully amortize. Coupled with the certainty that the feds will soon increase short-term rates, there might be a substantial jump in payment on your line of credit. If we combine your current loan, equity line, and possibly even some of your credit debt, there could be a substantial reduction in what you have to pay each month. Do you have VA eligibility? VA will allow 100% cash-out financing. This may be a perfect time to use your eligibility. We can go 85% cash out with FHA or 80% with a standard conventional loan. There are many possible options that could make a huge difference in your monthly payments. That's why you need a loan financial planner to provide you with all of your possible options. Give me a call, Steve Alador, at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070, or go to loanfinancialplanner.com.
Hey, Mom, how'd you like to forget having to work like crazy just to make someone else rich? Earn great money from home so you can have the freedom to be the mom you want to be.
I'm a single mom, and when I found this opportunity, I was able to make $1,200 part-time my first month, fire my boss, and now work from home full-time around my kids.
Get free information from the Moms Business Network today. Just go to Income16.com to learn how. Income16.com. You can start earning great money as soon as next week. Income16.com.
Here's a look at the community calendar. I'm Carlos Gonzalez. The city of San Bernardino invites you to take advantage of Free Dump Day. If you haven't wanted mattresses, appliances, tires, electronics, or shrubs to get rid of, mark the last Saturday of each month on your calendar. You must provide proof of residency with your driver's license or utility bill. No hazardous or construction materials will be accepted. To find out the times and places for Free Dump Day, Google City of San Bernardino calendar. If you're looking for something fun, interesting, and free to do, the City of San Bernardino History and Railroad Museum is open every Saturday from 10 till 3. Schedule a group tour by calling 909-888-3634 and learn some fascinating firsts about San Bernardino. That number again, 909-888-3634. And that's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar. I'm Carlos Gonzalez.
You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
We got Bill Schwartz in the booth.
Morning.
We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. So we have spent a lot of time talking about Greece over the last, this summer, really.
Yes, we have.
Because they're in uncharted territory in their financial world. And so the Greek stock market reopens, and guess what happened, Bill?
They lost everything?
It crashed.
Ew.
It crashed. The main Greek stock market reopened yesterday after being closed for more than a month, and shares in major banks performed as expected, as badly as possible. The country's four main banks dived 30% in early trading, which is the maximum single-day fall allowed, according to the BBC. The Athens Stock Exchange fell more than 22% soon after the bell rang to begin trading for the first time since June 26, which reports the Telegraph, which notes the analysts had warned of a bloodbath. The slide, the worst in the exchange's history, happened within minutes, and experts tell Reuters that despite the bailout deal, the slide appears set to continue unless buyers emerge.
You know, I wish I could say I was shocked, but it seems to me that this whole thing that's happened with Greece has just been managed so poorly, that they have not come up with a solution. They've just come up with these stopgaps. And so things just continually get worse, and they come up with the next stopgap, and things get worse.
What if there is no solution?
Well, you say unless buyers emerge?
Yes.
What buyer in his right mind would buy something valueless?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Somebody who's got the money to take that kind of gamble, but wow.
Well, that's why I was in favor of them leaving the European Union. I felt that was probably the smartest thing for them. They would have had the same pain that they're having right now, but they would have been able to come out of that on their own terms versus being stuck with the horrible debts and the repeating cycle that's going to happen over and over again.
But here's the thing that they're worried about. If you leave the EU, then all of those pensions, all of those, all of your safety net, all of your economic supports that you have for the people in your country necessarily go away.
It's going to be chaotic. There's going to be a lot of challenges, and those things have already gone away. By the way, I mean those folks have lost their pensions. A lot of these people aren't getting any money anyway. They're not getting paid. That's why this whole giant black market economy has developed in Greece.
Yep.
It's crazy. Along the same lines, I don't know if you saw this in the news yesterday, but Puerto Rico actually went ahead and they defaulted
as well. Yeah.
So Puerto Rico has triggered the biggest municipal default in U.S. history, risking years of bitter legal warfare with creditors and an austerity death spiral with echoes of Greece. The island's Commonwealth finally ran out of money on Monday after a desperate effort to stay afloat, missing a final deadline for a $58 million payment, handing over just $628,000 of the $58 million that was owed. It implies a sweeping default on much of its $72 billion worth of debt, equal to 100% of Puerto Rico's gross national product and more than 5 times the debt ratio of California or Texas. The Commonwealth is now in legal limbo, facing a well-organized pack of hedge funds that scooped up the debt at distressed levels and appears determined to extract maximum value in the courts, even if this means shutting down part of the island's education system and social services. Puerto Rico, of course, is not covered by Chapter 9 bankruptcy code in the United States. Therefore, it cannot resort to the sort of orderly debt restructuring that helped the city of Detroit to get back on its feet after defaulting in 2013. By a quirk of law, it does not enjoy the partial protection of full U.S. states. At the same time, it is unable to draw on support from the International Monetary Fund since it is not a sovereign country. So they are...
They're hosed. Well, what if they just say, I forget you. I'm not paying you.
Well, I don't know. I actually heard one of their leaders, it's actually the representative from Puerto Rico that's in the Congress. They have someone who sits as a representative, does not vote.
But they don't vote. But he's talk about taxation without representation.
Yeah, but he's been working with other Congress people to craft a law that would essentially give them a form of bankruptcy protection, so that they will have a way to get out of this. But that law has not been passed, and you've seen how our Congress is working
or not working, and they just went on recess.
And whenever hot potato issues like this come up, what do they tend to do? They punt. They hide and they wait to see what happens. It's the same thing happened in San Bernardino, right? Instead of taking action and decisive action to solve the problems, they just kind of kept waiting, hoping something would change, hoping some other thing would evolve that they wouldn't have to get their hands
time to go on vacation.
Yeah. So this is really nasty business. And if
what would happen if Puerto Rico just said, I don't care what you say, we're not paying you?
Well, and that's where they're at. I mean, that's what they've done, right? I mean, They're not paying. You can't get blood out of a turnip, right?
You cut off goods and services, huh?
Well,
if we're not paying, okay, then you don't get any.
This is the thing, right? They're saying they may have to shut down their school system. And I don't know if you saw, I saw another article saying that people were basically massively leaving Puerto Rico.
And moving to the U.S.
Moving to the U.S., going to Florida, going to other places, and how that could affect the economies of those other places, affect elections, a whole bunch of things as these Puerto Ricans come in mass into the mainland United States because they can't survive in Puerto Rico. I mean,
what is? I mean, they are Americans.
So
what is our country doing to help them? I mean, if nothing else, to help them restructure, like you said, to maybe fast track some legislation to give them some sort of bankruptcy protection, to do something for them.
Well, we bailed out the auto industry, right?
Yeah.
Another bailout coming.
Well, I don't know that we necessarily have to bail them out, but give them some legal scaffolding to be able to dig out of this.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm hopeful that Congress will do something. But again,
it's Congress.
It's Congress. And, the political games get played there. It's not always what's in the best interest of the people. It's what's in the best interest of the politicians.
I don't know. Maybe you could re-baseline it, send food, send teachers, build classrooms.
Exactly.
You just started from the ground up again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and provide. You have to provide the legal support for them to restructure or get out of their debt. Something's got to give.
they were hit extremely hard with this recession and have not recovered at all. And I'm not sure exactly why that is, why they haven't had any real recovery. I mean, I'm looking at a chart here that shows their economic activity that literally went off the cliff in 2007.
Well, because people stopped traveling, right?
Yeah.
And that's their main income.
Yeah, but I mean, it has continued to go down. I mean, even though the economy has sort of rebounded, you don't see even a gradual uptick. I mean, it's just a downhill slope from 07. And so
I hear rebound, but I'm seeing restaurants here that have been in business for 40 years going out of business.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got bankruptcy notices on their door. What was it? Buffalo Inn in Ontario is one I could think of. Bankruptcy notice on the door.
Yeah.
The Mug in San Bernardino
Yeah.
went there for years and years, and they had a pink crayon sign that just said closed.
Well, that's because their owner passed away.
Yeah.
And the family decided not to continue.
Yeah, but still, you're right. I mean, the recovery has not been a strong recovery.
Not by any stretch of the
especially in our area.
imagination.
Our area has been particularly badly hit. But again, I'm looking at this chart for Puerto Rico, and it's just straight downhill. I mean, I don't understand. That makes no sense to me. So whatever restructuring they do, they better figure out why they haven't rebounded and help build something that can help them to rebound. Right? It can't just be giving them money or giving them new roads or schools. I mean, you've got to have something that's going to build the economy.
Exactly. So it's time for another break. It's 6:30. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
We are on the brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. Got Bill Schwartz in the booth. We'll be right back.
KCAA Loma Linda, your CNBC news station for the Inland Empire.
California headline news, another anxious day for homeowners in Northern California.
This is the first time that I'm really feeling afraid that I could lose my house.
More than 24 families have lost their homes to the flames of the Rocky Fire, which has burned more than 62,000 acres. The flames jumping across Highway 20 Monday, 12% containment now, with crews hoping slightly milder temperatures will help them make up some more ground today. In L.A. County, a supervisor is calling for a ban on raves and major music festivals after 2 women died of apparent drug overdoses over the weekend.
This tragedy, as you know, warrants immediate attention. I've called for a full investigation.
Supervisor Hilda Solis wants to ban events like the Hard Summer Music Festival in Pomona until the full investigation is completed. An 18-year-old woman who is 3 months pregnant in critical condition after a road rage incident. Authorities say the woman was shot in the eye in Fresno County by occupants of an SUV. Geico weather mostly dry across the state with milder temperatures. Jeff Scott, California News.
Today, Geico's stuff found in your car takes us under your passenger seat.
Hello, darling. Remember me? That earring you lost? I thought we were close, but then it took 15 minutes to notice I was missing in this ghastly carpeting. That's 15 minutes you could have used to switch your car insurance to Geico and saved hundreds of dollars. Money you could use for new earrings. And wouldn't that be nice? For you.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com today.
Times sure have changed since Geico started saving people money over 75 years ago. We didn't have video games like today, but that's not to say we didn't have fun. One of my favorite games was Don't Get Kicked by the Goat. Now that's some real excitement, especially when someone lost. Yep, back then we knew 2 things: how to have a good time, and that Geico was always a good deal.
Geico, saving people money on car insurance for over 75 years.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Ron Pritchard. For this morning, we've got sunny skies, high near 96. Tonight, mostly clear, low near 68. Wednesday, sunny with a high near 97. Wednesday night, mostly clear, low near 68. Thursday, mostly sunny with a high near 94. Thursday night, mostly clear, low near 65. Friday, sunny and cooler with a high near 89. Friday night, mostly clear, low near 62. Saturday, sunny with a high near 86. Saturday night, mostly clear, low near 64. Sunday, sunny with a high near 90. Sunday night, mostly clear, low near 65. Monday, sunny with a high near 90. There's your weather forecast for this hour from the station that leaves no listener behind, NBC News Radio, AM 1050, KCAA.
Art Bell is back, and he's coming to KCAA.
There are a lot of people who think that we are Martians, that there's a strong possibility that we are Martians. That's why I said us. No, I'm serious. There was a civilization on Mars. That might have been us or our ancestors.
Nobody is more captivating than Art Bell.
Now, I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there is something here that defies logical explanation.
Tune into the best. Midnight in the Desert with Art Bell.
The only way you're going to get the American people to pony up the billions of dollars, however many hundreds of billions it would be to go to Mars, the only way you're going to get them to do that is to convince them that we have a real reason to go.
Want to take a ride?
Weeknights at 9 p.m. on KCAA, 1050 AM.
It's summer savings time at Toyota of Escondido. For the first time ever, you can drive home any bold new 2015 Camry or gas-saving Prius Hybrid with 0 APR factory financing for 60 months. Don't miss out.
Toyota of Escondido. Toyota of Escondido.
Come in today and save more than ever before on over 12.5 acres of new and pre-owned Toyotas. 0 APR factory financing on approved good credit. 60 monthly payments of $1,667 per $1,000 borrowed. Down payment varies with credit.
Toyota of Escondido.
Financing includes dealer fees and excludes tax and license. Ends July 6th.
Listen to KCAA Loma Linda for less confrontation and more information.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. There's an interesting story, another interesting story. A healthy 75-year-old ends her life so she won't grow old.
I don't know if I'd say that's interesting as much as I'd say that's a little sick.
It's really horrifying. So in the Netherlands, it is euthanasia is legal.
Mm-hmm.
And so doctor-assisted suicide is legal. And I think it might be in other European countries as well. A British nurse with no serious health issues has ended her life at a suicide clinic because she said she didn't want to grow old. Gil Farrow, 75, said her work in a nursing home revealed the awful reality of old age and burdens placed on loved ones and caregivers. This is according to the Telegraph. I know that I have gone just over the hill now, she said before going to the Life Circle Clinic in Basel, Switzerland. So I guess it's legal in Switzerland too. It's not going to start getting better. I do not want people to remember me as sort of old lady hobbling up the road in a trolley. All you need to do at my age is break a hip and you're likely to go very much downhill from that. Farrow said that she wasn't depressed, only had relatively minor health issues like tinnitus and an occasional back pain from shingles. She spent a last evening in Basel with her life partner John that he describes as tranquil and enjoyable. Gil has been thinking about it for years, and I had no intention of spoiling it by getting emotional and heavy. Her daughter Karen, also a nurse, admits the decision was hard on her, but Farrow wrote in a blog that she had to leave on a good note. I want people to remember me as I am now, a bit worn around the edges, but not quite at my peak, but still recognizably me. She concedes that people have different reactions to my choice, but that lawmakers listen to and respect the views of people like me, and I'm not alone in holding this view. Indeed, a study showed that 611 people went to Switzerland between 2008 and 2012 to medically end their lives.
It's just kind of sad, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's and I don't mean to be glib about this, but I'm kind of looking forward to being older and having people take care of me a little bit.
Are you?
Yeah.
But people, you mean our children?
Yeah, exactly. I took care of those kids. They owe me something.
No, but here's the thing. I mean,
boy, have you got an awakening coming?
I know, right?
I know.
And every bone you ever broke, all of a sudden lets itself be known again.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I just don't. I'm not a big fan of this idea of elective suicide. Right? That these people can just decide. I mean, this woman was perfectly healthy, and she's depriving herself and her family, and I just think it's kind of a sick thing. It's just wrong.
It is wrong. Yeah, it is wrong. here's the idea that scares me. So, say this assisted suicide becomes the norm. I mean, it's moving that way in Europe. It's starting that. I mean, there are states in the United States. I think Oregon allows for it. What if you're sick and you have a treatment that's so expensive that the insurance company doesn't want to pay for it, but they will pay for your assisted suicide?
Yeah.
I mean, are we?
I guess that's cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that? I mean, I'm afraid of a world where that's the choice.
Yeah. Yeah. Come up with the money on your own for the
cancer treatment or whatever
treatment that you need, or hey, walk in and we'll give you the shot and put you down. Like we did your dog and your cat at the vets.
Yes. I don't know. I don't want that to happen. And as far as, her deciding that she wants to die, that's horrible.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely horrible. People live well into their 90s and some north of that, and she was only 75.
Yeah, but not everybody gets the same health care. And indeed, based on the insurance you get gradations of what kind of health care you're going to get.
But she's in the UK, so they have a national health service, and I don't know how good that is, but terrible. But she's a nurse, and so presumably has access to doctors and that sort of thing. And she's not sick. She's just, I'm feeling good. I want to go out on a high note. Well, it's not like her series on television is ending. She's decided to take her life.
Yeah.
You just get tired of phoning it in, I guess.
Apparently.
That's right. It's just wrong. And there's another story that I wanted to talk about today too, which is kind of the flip side of this. A young man that sort of died tragically. I don't know if you saw this one, Aaron. Kansas baseball team, the little bat boy.
You know what? I did hear about this.
Yeah, I think he was 9 years old, and just a terrible tragedy. This young boy, Kaiser Carlisle, died Sunday after being struck in the head with a bat a day earlier. And the team went ahead and played the next day, and they said because the boy loved the game and he would have wanted them to continue.
He got hit by a practice swing.
Yeah. The guy was standing in the batting circle, right?
Uh-huh.
Just swinging, warming up, and the bat boy walked up behind him, trying to go around to get the bat that was left up at the plate. The guy who was doing the practice swing didn't see him, did a full power swing, got the kid right in the back of the head. Just an absolute tragedy. His mom, the little boy's mom, was sitting right there in the stands. They had, thankfully, because of something that happened earlier at the stadium, they actually had the paramedics already there.
Yeah, he got up at first, and then he fell right back down.
Yeah, but they quickly rushed him to the hospital. But the force of being hit, even wearing the helmet, right, the force of being hit full on with that bat in the back of the head, tragically this young boy died. And so you contrast that with this story of this woman who's 75 years old just deciding, oh, I'm done, and the tragedy of this little boy who did not make that choice, who just had sort of tragic accident occur. Life is precious, Life is precious, and you never know, what contributions this little 9-year-old would have made had he grown up.
I imagine that hitter must feel awful.
Oh,
that he will carry that for the rest of his life.
Yeah, and as much as you want to just rationalize that it was just an accident,
oh,
right?
No.
Yeah, I just was just up there doing my swing, didn't see him, That's with you. That's now on your heart and on your soul for the rest of your life.
Yeah, even though it's an accident, it's like I did it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's kind of like the people who maybe have accidentally hit someone with their car, right? Someone stepped down in the street and you hit them. I imagine those folks carry a tremendous amount of guilt as well. I mean, but maybe they didn't have time to react. I mean, and you hear about accidents like that sometimes.
Yeah, there was that kid who was on that Razor scooter in Ontario, and I had a friend who had seen him the day before and was saying, "Gosh, that kid is going to get hit." Sure enough, next day he got hit.
Wow!
But I'm sure the driver was just driving normally, and the kid just darted right in front of the car.
Yeah.
Well, we need to talk about something happy.
We do.
We have to talk about something happy. The Huffington Post has released a list of colleges with the happiest students, and this is according to the 2015-16 Princeton Review. Guess what's number one?
Number one.
Chico.
Well, actually, let's back up. Let's go back. Let's start from the number 20. Number 20 is Gettysburg College.
Hey, now as a history guy, I'm in with you, right? Gettysburg, let's go there. Party on, man.
I'm guessing that's in Virginia.
No.
Gettysburg or
Pennsylvania.
Oh, sorry, Pennsylvania.
There's Mad City, Madison, Wisconsin. Yeah, big party town.
It is a big, but that's not on the list, believe it or not.
You could actually buy beer there when you were 18, long time ago.
Yeah, it's changed now.
Yeah, they were going to lose their federal matching funds, so okay, we'll raise the limit to 21.
So 20 is Gettysburg. Sorry, I've forgotten that Gettysburg was in Pennsylvania.
That's okay.
I'm not a history teacher.
That's okay.
Number 19 is Colby College. 18 is Middlebury College.
Middlebury is in Vermont, and I visited. It's a beautiful campus.
Number 17 is in California. That's Loyola Marymount College.
Gorgeous campus.
It is a beautiful. Westchester is beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's we actually stayed there. Well, I did years and years ago. I did with AFS. I did an immediate post-arrival orientation camp. AFS is an international exchange student organization, and so the kids who lived on the East Coast, or in the East, not the East Coast, obviously, on the East would. They'd fly into LAX, that was their port, and then they we'd give them an orientation. So it's kids from Australia and Thailand and Japan and all those places. And the campus was really beautiful. Although I don't know if I've told this story before, the Australian boys disappeared during that camp.
Yeah.
Do you know why the Australian boys disappeared?
Why?
There was a cheerleading camp going on across campus, and so all the Australian boys went over to find, and they found the cheerleaders.
Darn those Australians.
We had to go get them and bring them back.
That's funny.
Which was great. So, all right. So, SMU is number 15. Washington State, number 14. 13 is Yale. 12 is University of California, Santa Barbara.
Okay, that has got to be one of the most gorgeous campuses. Yeah. Looking at the ocean, beautiful weather.
I had a brother-in-law who went there, and he was he finally had to leave and go to Arizona because he was a surfer, and he just he could not get his mind on his studies. He said, I had to leave Santa Barbara because the ocean was there. I'm a surfer, and
dude,
he finally had to go to Arizona to buckle down.
Wow.
Did actually go to class. Number 11 was Auburn. 10 is Tulane, which of course is a really good school. Rice University is number 9, and our son really wanted to go to Rice. That one's in Houston. 8 is Whitman College. 7, Clemson University. 6, University of Dayton. 5, St. Mary's College of Maryland. 4, Kansas State. 3 is Claremont McKenna.
Hey, that's a local school.
IE school, Claremont McKenna College.
And again, one of the things I'm seeing as a theme here is they all have really beautiful campuses. I mean, Claremont McKenna looks like one of those Ivy League schools, the big trees.
Ivy everywhere.
Yeah. Exactly.
Gorgeous campus.
Number 2 is Virginia Tech, and number 1 is Vanderbilt.
Very cool. Now, I got to ask you something, Aaron, here, because I didn't look at the parameters for how they chose these schools. Some of these obviously are religious schools. And I wonder if, because they're saying happiest, I'm wondering if happiness has to do with that sort of spiritual, Well,
we have to take a break, so we can catch that when we get back. I'm Aaron Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we've got Bill Schwartz in the booth. We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. We'll be right back.
KCAA, where every day is a great day. KCAA, Loma Linda. It's time for the KCAA Community Calendar, brought to you exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools. The clear mission of Learn for Life is to motivate and mentor students who have dropped out of school and provide them with the personalized education and technical training necessary to advance their lives.
From the KCAA Community Calendar, I'm Mark Westwood. Everyone's talking about the Third Thursdays in San Bernardino. Rediscover the City of San Bernardino Third Thursday Food Truck Fest. Switch up your lunchtime routine. Try the gourmet food trucks every third Thursday from 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Court Street parking lot between E and D Streets in downtown San Bernardino. Enjoy delicious, tasty food from the food trucks such as the Slam and Sliders food truck, Farmer's Belly, the Bacon Mania truck, Piaggio on Wheels, or the Greasy Wiener. All kinds of mouth-watering delights, hot off the truck, and plenty to eat. Put an end to dull, boring fast food and truck on over to City Hall in San Bernardino for the Third Thursday Food Truck Fest in downtown San Bernardino. For more info, check out Rediscover San Bernardino's Facebook page at facebook.com/SB Third Thursdays. That's SBTHIRD Thursdays. That's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar. I'm Mark Westwood.
KCAA Community Calendar is presented exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools where students can complete their education on a part-time basis. To find a resource center nearest you, call 1-877-360-LEARN or visit Learn for Life online at learn4life.org.
Are you looking for the right place to purchase your landscaping items? Well, come see us at Hydroscape. Hydroscape offers a large selection of irrigation products including Irritrol and Toro, such as their efficient precision nozzles. For 40 years, Hydroscape has been family owned and operated, serving Southern California. With 17 locations, our knowledgeable and experienced staff is equipped to help you with all your irrigation, landscape, and outdoor living projects. Whether you're installing irrigation systems, wanting to maintain a healthy landscape, or simply create a beautiful lit space for outdoor entertaining, Hydroscape is the place to go. Visit our website at hydroscape.com for more information and find helpful articles on our blog, or call our customer service center at 1-800-395-4477.
KCAA invites you to listen to professional money manager Bill Gunderson every weekday morning from 7 to 8 a.m. Bill Gunderson is a highly respected money manager. He's a regular contributor to MarketWatch, TheStreet.com, and Town Hall Finance. Gunderson has appeared many times on the Fox News Channel, the Fox Business Network, and CNBC. You can hear Bill Gunderson's daily insight into the market at 7 a.m. weekdays, right here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. For more local radio every day, tune into KCAA Loma Linda.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin
We
Brinker.
got Bill Schwartz in the booth, and we're happy.
Yes, we
So
are.
we're talking about the happiest colleges, according to the Princeton Review, and we did not talk about how they came up with this list.
Yeah.
The 2015-16 rankings released Monday are based on a survey, survey responses from more than 100,000 students at 380 colleges and universities. Vanderbilt was named the happiest in last year's rankings as well. Vanderbilt's entire campus is an arboretum, making the school grounds feel as residential and removed as a university in a college town, while still being just a few miles from the vibrant Nashville music scene.
There you go.
That's why. When the private university received the honor last year, the school boasted it was partly due to its need-blind financial aid that includes grants rather than loans, as well as a balance of academic life outside class, because there's no competitive pressure on campus.
I love it. I love it, right? I mean, you don't have to worry about the loans because they're giving you grants. You're living in a campus that looks like, heaven. And on the weekends, you're hanging out at the nice places in Nashville, hearing all the great music.
Hearing all the great music, yeah.
Of course they're happy.
Of course, there's wonderful, wonderful music in Nashville, but I still say that Austin, Texas has the best live music.
Well, you know what we're going to have to do, right?
We're going to have to go to both.
Exactly. Exactly. I think we've got a road trip in our future.
I'm happy, though, that Claremont McKenna is in the list, and not only in the list, but number 2. So
yeah.
Go Claremont McKenna.
Number 3.
I'm sorry, number 3.
I made the same mistake. It's number 3.
Oh, Virginia Tech is number 2.
Yeah.
I just kind of dismissed them.
Yeah, it's Virginia. Whatever.
Oh, my goodness. So, Tobin, you just started your school year. We're talking about education. So what fun things do you have planned for your students this year?
I've told you a little bit about this, but this year my middle school is going to celebrate our 50th anniversary. And so we've got a lot of big plans revolving around that. And I'm starting to get a little nervous about some of it. In September, we're going to have a big homecoming football game. And when Frisbee Middle School first opened, it was a 7th, 8th, and 9th grade campus.
So you had football and cheerleaders and all of that.
Yes, we remember.
Yeah, Bill was a student there. And
7th grade.
And
right out of Levi Bemis. That was the next stop.
And they had, like the full-on freshman sports and the full sports program. And so that went away years ago when they got rid of the 9th grade. And so they have intramural sports, but it's not the same. And our fields are not in great shape, right? Because they don't... Huh. So what I've done is we've actually...
your average school field doesn't have to be... Sorry, Tobin. The average school field doesn't have to be, because if you're not playing, sports, it doesn't have to be perfectly graded and all of that stuff.
Yeah. So, for instance, we have a football field, but there are no goalposts, and the field itself is not perfectly level now. There have been gopher holes and other things that have made it uneven. And so we've made arrangements for Eisenhower High School's freshman football team and Rialto High School's freshman football team to play their league game at Frisbee this year. And so that's going to be our homecoming game. And so we've got to get our field fixed. And so, we've been putting in requests and talking about this for months, and it still hasn't been done, and the game's like a month and a half from now. And so I'm starting to get nervous about their ability to get out there and fix up the field to make it in good enough condition for these kids to go out and play.
Yeah, if it happens at the last minute, you kind of look at the quality going, gosh, what a rush job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so this is my concern. And then we've got a series of events that are going to go along with that as well. And so because it's a homecoming, we're going to have our homecoming king and queen, and we're going to have a homecoming
You're going to have cheerleaders?
dance. Oh, we've got cheerleaders. Frisbee's had cheerleaders nonstop from the year we opened. I mean,
see, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so that's
I
a lot of
remember
pride.
having a crush on one way out of my league and my pay grade.
A lot of pride about that. And it's been so cool sort of learning the history of the school. In 1973, a student designed a giant letter F for Frisbee that they painted out on the quad, and it's very sort of artistic lettering, and it's been repainted numerous times, and right now it's a little chipped up and not looking great. So I actually talked to the art teacher, and they're going to get out there at the beginning of the school year here and repaint that so it looks really sharp, and so we're just kind of touching the school up a little bit, kind of doing some things to kind of bring back the nostalgia and the history.
Now, are you going to be putting together a calendar of all the events so that the community can get involved?
Yes, we will. And we're still in process and deciding some of that. And so as soon as we have it finalized on our end, yes, it's going to go out to the community. The big thing is that week that we have the homecoming game, that's going to be our big kickoff. And that's when hopefully we're going to give people those calendars. That's when we're also going to start selling the book that I wrote this summer. I actually got to write the 50-year history of Frisbee Middle School. And so we're kind of in the process of finishing that up. So that's the thing that's got me really excited about this school year. I mean, tomorrow my students show up, and I'll still be teaching U.S. history and world history, and those are good things, and we'll have a lot of fun with it. But the cool, different thing this year is the 50th anniversary.
Awesome.
So, yeah,
that is fun.
I've got friends, other teacher friends that are going back to work, and you get anxious, you get a little excited. Everyone's getting their rooms ready and polishing up their lessons, and then the first week is all about sort of setting your expectations, going over your classroom rules and your processes and your procedures, doing some review, things like that. And then, about the second week is really when you jump into new stuff, But, yeah, it's exciting.
It is exciting. And
you know what else is exciting? Our
What's
transmitter is back on.
Woohoo! All right.
Okay, we're
That's
on the
good.
air.
The people can hear us again.
Well, we've been on the internet and on in other areas, but not our transmitter has been having issues. So now we are live again. So for people who are just tuning in the last 2 minutes of the show, welcome.
So, one of the articles that we had today that we didn't quite get to, and we probably should save it for tomorrow, but I just want to mention it, is this article about our gut is telling us what to eat and we're not listening. And you found this article, Aaron. I just thought it was fascinating because it speaks to something I think you and I have learned in the last couple of years, which is that we were eating a lot of this processed, food, and you go out to eat and you eat stuff that's, not normal. I don't know, normal's not the right word, but it's just processed. And you get upset stomach afterwards. You feel sick, and there's a reason for that. And it's really interesting how the body chemistry works and reacts to some of these things. And so I know we don't have a lot of time to really go into the details here today, but
we'll tease it for tomorrow.
We'll tease it because how many people I'm sure have had that food hangover, or that food coma,
yes,
where you eat something and then your body afterwards kind of really reacts strongly,
Yes.
And there are reasons for why our body's doing that.
Well, and here's the thing too: once you start eating junk food, your body craves that junk food, which is, you want to eat that processed junk food, which is really bad for you. It starts this vicious cycle.
Yep.
Got to stay away from that stuff.
Yeah, and so I was fascinated by this article, and I'm excited to talk in detail about it tomorrow because diet has become such a big thing for both of us. We both have had health issues and other things that have caused us to sort of reevaluate how we eat and what we eat, and it's I've actually some of the best guests we've had on the show have been people who've been talking about food.
Yes.
And cooking.
It's
our
our favorite subject.
It is.
We like talking about food.
Yeah. I like eating food. I wish more of our guests would bring food with them. To be honest, just put that out there. Bring food.
Anything to get out of a bill, Tobin?
Exactly. Hey, I tell this to my kids. Free food tastes better.
It does. It really does.
I think we are out of time. It's 6:59. I'm Aaron Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. Have a great Tuesday, everybody.
This is KCAA Loma Linda, the station that leaves no listener behind. CNBC News is next, a courtesy of buysellmakeoffer.com, where you can post a video about items you have for sale. Sign up now. It's free.
I'm Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio. The strong dollar taking a bite out of Kellogg's sales. The cereal maker also saw a smaller demand for its cereals and snacks in the U.S., and that caused a 5% drop in quarterly sales. Aetna reporting its earnings jumped 33%, easily beating analyst forecasts. The health insurer raising its 2015 forecast again. The company says higher underwriting margins and improved profitability help balance a rise in operating costs. Coach has had a rough time lately as it faces tough competition from Michael Kors and other high-end handbag makers, but the company turned in better than expected quarterly profit and sales after acquiring luxury shoe brand Stuart Weitzman. Time posting a quarterly profit that easily beat Wall Street expectations. The magazine publisher says lower costs offset weak print and sales. Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio.
Do you want to learn how to earn commissions of up to 20% by laundering millions of foreign dollars?
Well, we can't help you with that. But among the many IT problems we solve, Barracuda's email security solutions keep email phishing attacks like this from entering your business network and any valuable data from leaking out. Reclaim your network like 150,000 other businesses have. To learn more about stopping email-borne threats, visit barracuda.com/email.
The following was recorded at a Burger King drive-thru at breakfast.
Morning, welcome to Burger King.
Can I get a sausage, egg, and cheese croissant sandwich?
Sure. Right now they're 2 for $4, but could you say that word again?
Croissant sandwich?
Oh, where I'm from, we say croissant-wich.
Where you from?
From behind this counter?
Piled high with thick-cut bacon or savory sausage, fluffy eggs, and melted cheese. Get 2 croissant breakfast sandwiches for just $4, only at Burger King. And for more great deals, download the BK app at bk.com/app. Limited time only. Price and participation vary.
KCAA Loma Linda, your CNBC news station, where your business comes first. Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online.
As the markets continue higher and experts continue to call for a correction, how should you invest? Do you buy now?
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
Good morning, it's 7:03. Checking out traffic and weather. Going to be another hot one. Highs in the 90s in the IE. Also going to be seeing the 90s in the high desert. Mountains will be down in the 80s, and the beaches somewhere between the 70s and the 80s. Currently, it's 73 degrees. Looking at your morning drive in Riverside, we got stop and go traffic on the 91. That's westbound between Magnolia and Green River Road. And in the Cajon Pass, 3 lanes are blocked with an accident. That's the I-15 northbound before Oak Hill Road. This traffic and weather report has been brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life. Winston Churchill's words stirred his country in the face of defeat. Today, they inspire us to reach for our own victories. Commitment. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Hi, this is Steve Aladort from Rancho Financial with the Mortgage Minute. This may be the perfect time to move forward with a new purchase. The feds have not yet increased short-term rates. When they do, we expect both rates and property values to increase. Today, you have an opportunity to qualify for a lower payment and more home than potentially even just a few months down the road. If you have VA eligibility, we can do up to 100% financing. We have loans with as little as 3.5% down, less than 20% down without mortgage insurance. Turned down because you can't qualify with your tax returns? We have special programs that we can use your assets to qualify you, and we have just come out with a bank statement program. If you can't qualify with your tax returns but can show income through your bank statements, we might have a loan program just for you. There are many possible options that could make a huge difference in your monthly payments. That's why you need a loan financial planner. Give me a call, Steve Aladort, at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070, or go to loanfinancialplanner.com.
It's America's entertainment pop culture show, and it's here on KCAA. Hi, this is David Cohen, along with
Douglas Viviani.
Join us for Everything Old is New Again, Saturdays at 2 o'clock on CNBC KCAA 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Down to Earth Talk, a show designed to inspire, encourage, build, and bring laughter to listeners. Down to Earth Talk, where we take everyday topics and issues and put them into practical, down-to-earth terms. Topics include relationships, parenting, finances, sports, and entertainment. That's Down to Earth Talk, Saturdays 5:30 p.m. right here on KCAA 1050 AM.
He has been a professional money manager for the last 18 years. He is a regular contributor to the Fox Business Channel and Bloomberg Radio. In addition to this, he is a regular contributor to TheStreet.com and MarketWatch.com. Now he's live here on the Wall Street Business Network. Here is Bill Gunderson.
And welcome to the August 4th, what is it, Tuesday already, the live edition of the Best Stocks Now Radio Hour with professional money manager Bill Gunderson. Well, let's see. We've got a pretty flat start to the market here today. You got the S&P up 60 cents right now. So that's right, 60 cents, which works out to 3 basis points, 0.03%. But that does drop the S&P below 2,100. We're at 2,099.34. Last week I was talking about support levels for the markets, and I said, you know, the S&P, as long as it remains above 2,000, we're okay. We're at 2,099. The Dow is up, oh boy, what is that, 26 cents? Okay, 17,598. I also said, as long as the Dow remains above 17,000, we're okay. I think we're in the midst of a 3 to 5% correction, and I always amazed at the folks that write to me and say, is this the correction that we've been waiting for? Who waits for a correction? I don't sit around waiting for a correction. But, you know, look, there's some investors that are on pins and needles constantly. The NASDAQ is up 5 points. Hey, that's okay. That's 10 basis points. We're at 5,120. Crude oil, which got whacked again on Monday. You know, I wrote a big article in my newsletter over the weekend about the impact that crude oil is having on the economy, that crude oil is having on the jobs market, and that crude oil is having on the earnings for the S&P 500. You can get that newsletter by going to my website at pwstreet.com. Gold, 1091. The euro, 109.7, and the 10-year yield, 2.18. So welcome to the Best Stocks Now Radio Hour with professional money manager Bill Gunderson. You know, there's been some things that have ganged up on the market here recently. But as of last Friday, when I wrote my newsletter and sent it out Saturday afternoon, once again, for the 6th year and 18th week, I said that the bull market remains intact. And I also reported my earnings estimates for S&P 500 for this year and for S&P 500 for next year, because therein, in my book, lies the key to whether or not this bull can continue. And there's been people, folks, all along the way for the last 6 years, almost 7 years now, saying, no, there's no way that this bull can continue. In fact, they've been bearish the whole way, the whole journey, while the market has tripled. Well, I remain bullish for now, and my focus right now is watching these earnings reports that are coming in on a daily basis, because that causes adjustments to my numbers. Aggregate numbers for the S&P 500, aggregate numbers for this year, aggregate numbers for next year. As long as that trend line of earnings can continue to slope upwards,